170 enemy aircraft. That's how many planes these 5 American pilots shot down between 1942 and 1945. Not damaged, not probables, confirmed kills. Over 1,400 fighter pilots became aces during World War II, but only 5 of them produced kill counts so devastating that enemy forces changed tactics when they learned these men were in their sector. Today, we're ranking them. Number 5 shot down more planes in a single day than most aces got in their entire careers. Number 3 became an ace twice, in 2 different wars. Number 2 isn't the name you think it is. And number 1 killed more enemy aircraft than the other 4 combined. This isn't about Hollywood portrayals or dramatic movie scenes. This is about verified gun camera footage, documented aerial victories, and the cold mathematics of who controlled the sky. Let's count down the 5 deadliest American fighter aces of World War II. But before we start, if you want to see who takes the number 1 spot, hit that like button right now, and subscribe so you never miss our rankings. Now, let's start with number 5. Number 5, Captain Robert S. Johnson. 28 confirmed kills. Here's what you need to know about Robert Johnson. On June 26, 1943, over the coast of France, his P-47 Thunderbolt took a cannon shell directly through the cockpit. The shell punched through the canopy, severed his radio, destroyed his gun sight, and filled the cockpit with smoke and hydraulic fluid. Johnson was 50 miles behind enemy lines, bleeding from shrapnel wounds, flying a crippled fighter that couldn't communicate and couldn't aim its guns. A German Focke-Wulf 190 pilot pulled alongside him, saw the damage, and waved. The German was offering him a chance to surrender or bail out. Johnson waved back, then pushed his damaged Thunderbolt into a dive and escaped at full throttle. He made it back to England. The ground crew counted 21 cannon shell holes and over 200 bullet holes in his aircraft. The crew chief said the plane should never have flown again. Johnson was back in the air 3 days later. That's who Robert Johnson was. Indestructible. Johnson flew with the 56th Fighter Group, the legendary Zemke's Wolf Pack. By the end of his combat tour, he had 28 confirmed kills, making him the top-scoring P-47 pilot of the European theater. But here's the critical number. Johnson flew 91 combat missions and never lost a wingman. Not one. In a war where fighter pilots measured survival in weeks, Johnson brought his wingmen home every single time. His tactical philosophy was simple: never dogfight. Use the P-47's advantages, speed and dive, to attack from above, shoot, and escape before the enemy can react. The P-47 Thunderbolt wasn't a turner. It couldn't match the agility of a German Messerschmitt 109 or Focke-Wulf 190 in a slow-speed dogfight. But it was fast, heavily armored, and could dive faster than anything the Luftwaffe had. Johnson mastered boom and zoom tactics. He'd climb to altitude, spot German formations below, dive at 450 miles per hour, fire a burst, and use his speed to zoom back to altitude before the Germans could react. German pilots hated fighting the 56th Fighter Group because Johnson and his squadron never played by their rules. They wouldn't turn, they wouldn't slow down, they'd just dive, kill, and disappear. Johnson's 28 kills came over 11 months of combat. His kill-per-mission ratio was 1 enemy aircraft destroyed every 3¼ sorties, one of the highest efficiency rates in the 8th Air Force. He returned to the United States in May 1944 and spent the rest of the war as a gunnery instructor. He died in 1998, at age 78. Robert Johnson proved that survival wasn't luck. It was discipline, tactics, and knowing your aircraft's strengths. Number 4. Colonel Francis Gabby Gabreski. 28 confirmed kills in World War II, 6.5 kills in Korea. Francis Gabreski has the same number of World War II kills as Robert Johnson, 28 confirmed. But Gabreski ranks higher for one reason. He became an ace twice. Gabreski shot down 28 German aircraft in World War II, flying P-47s. Then, 8 years later during the Korean War, he shot down 6.5 MiG-15 jets, flying F-86 Sabres. That makes him one of only 7 American pilots to become an ace in 2 different wars. Gabreski was born in Pennsylvania in 1919 to Polish immigrant parents. He joined the Army Air Corps in 1940 and was initially rejected from flight training because his Polish accent was too thick. He retook the exams, passed, and earned his wings in 1941. He flew his first combat mission in January 1943 with the 56th Fighter Group and didn't score his first kill until August. It took him 7 months of combat flying to shoot down his first German plane. But once Gabreski figured it out, he became unstoppable. Between August 1943 and July 1944, Gabreski shot down 28 German aircraft in 11 months. His kill rate accelerated dramatically. In his final months of combat, he shot down 10 planes in June and July 1944 alone. His tactics were nearly identical to Johnson's: altitude advantage, high-speed diving attacks, no dogfighting. But Gabreski added one refinement. He became a master of deflection shooting, the art of firing ahead of a moving target so your bullets and the enemy plane arrive at the same point simultaneously. German pilots who survived encounters with Gabreski reported the same thing. His burst would appear in front of them before they saw him. By the time they reacted, their engine was on fire. On July 20th, 1944, Gabreski's luck ran out. He was strafing a German airfield when his P-47 clipped the ground. The propeller hit the runway, and the plane cartwheeled. Gabreski survived, but was captured and spent the rest of the war as a POW. He returned to the United States in 1945, stayed in the Air Force, and flew combat again in Korea, shooting down 6.5 MiG-15s. His total career kills, 34.5. Gabreski retired as a colonel in 1967 and died in 2002 at age 83. He was the last surviving American ace with 25-plus kills from World War II. Francis Gabreski proved that greatness isn't innate. It's built through practice, discipline, and relentless self-improvement. Number 3. Major Thomas Maguire, 38 confirmed kills. Stop right here and understand this number. Thomas Maguire shot down 38 Japanese aircraft in 16 months. That's 2.4 kills per month over his entire combat tour. But those numbers don't tell the complete story. In December 1944 alone, he shot down 12 enemy aircraft. In his last 3 months of combat, he averaged 1 kill every 2.5 days. If Maguire had survived 1 more month, he would have been America's top ace. Instead, he died trying. Maguire was born in New Jersey in 1920. He joined the Army Air Corps in 1941 and was assigned to the 475th Fighter Group in the Pacific, flying P-38 Lightnings. The P-38 was a unique aircraft, twin-engine, twin-boom design with concentrated nose armament. It had long range, heavy firepower, and could absorb tremendous damage. Maguire mastered the P-38. He flew it aggressively, using altitude advantage to dive on Japanese formations, destroy multiple targets in a single pass, and escape before enemy fighters could react. His most famous mission was December 26, 1944, over the Philippines. He was leading a 4-plane patrol when they encountered a massive Japanese formation, over 20 fighters escorting bombers. Maguire's flight was outnumbered 5-1. He attacked anyway. Maguire dove on the Japanese formation, shooting down 3 aircraft in his first pass. His wingmen each got one. In 10 minutes, Maguire's four-plane flight had destroyed 7 enemy aircraft without losses. By January 1945, Maguire had 38 confirmed kills, just 2 behind Richard Bong, America's top ace. Bong had just been rotated stateside. If Maguire survived another month, he'd break Bong's record. On January 7, 1945, Maguire was leading a patrol over Negros Island in the Philippines. His flight encountered a single Japanese Zero at low altitude. Maguire, eager for one more kill, broke formation to attack. The Zero pilot was skilled. He pulled his plane into a tight turn, forcing Maguire to follow. Maguire's P-38 was carrying external fuel tanks, which made the aircraft less maneuverable. At low altitude, with too much weight, Maguire pulled too hard on the stick. The P-38 stalled, snap-rolled, and crashed into the jungle. Maguire was killed instantly. He was 24 years old. The investigation concluded that Maguire violated his own rule: never dogfight at low altitude with external tanks still attached. He'd gotten aggressive at exactly the wrong moment. Thomas Maguire was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor. Maguire Air Force Base in New Jersey is named in his honor. He proved that aggression wins fights, but discipline keeps you alive. Number 2. Major Richard Dick Bong. 40 confirmed kills. Richard Bong was America's top ace of World War II, with 40 confirmed kills. He shot down more enemy aircraft than any other American pilot in history. Bong was born in Wisconsin in 1920. He joined the Army Air Corps in 1941 and was assigned to the Pacific Theater in 1942, flying P-38 Lightnings with the 5th Air Force. Bong's tactical style was simple: get close, make sure you can't miss, then shoot. Most fighter pilots opened fire at 400 to 600 yards. Bong would close to 100 to 200 yards before firing. At that range, he couldn't miss. One burst from his 450 caliber machine guns and one 20mm cannon would shred any Japanese aircraft. The risk was obvious. Closing to point-blank range meant flying through the enemy's defensive fire. Bong didn't care. He believed accuracy mattered more than caution. Bong's first kill came December 27, 1942. His last kill was December 17, 1944. In those 2 years, he flew 200 combat missions and shot down 40 Japanese aircraft, 1 kill every 5 missions. Japanese pilots feared him. After the war, captured Japanese records showed that when Bong's P-38 was identified in a sector, Japanese commanders ordered their pilots to avoid engagement. Don't fight him. Just run. But here's the statistic that matters most. Bong never lost a wingman in combat. Just like Robert Johnson, Bong brought his people home. He was aggressive in attacking the enemy, but protective of his squadron. General Douglas MacArthur personally awarded Bong the Medal of Honor in December 1944. MacArthur then ordered Bong stateside, saying, "You've done your part. Go home." Bong returned to the United States in January 1945. He married his fiancée, Marjorie, in February. He became a test pilot for Lockheed, flying the new P-80 Shooting Star, America's first operational jet fighter. On August 6, 1945, the same day the atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima, Bong was conducting a test flight in a P-80 over Burbank, California. The engine failed on takeoff. Bong tried to eject, but the early ejection seat malfunctioned. The plane crashed. Bong was killed instantly. He was 24 years old. He'd been married for 6 months. He'd survived 200 combat missions and 40 dogfights, only to die in a test flight accident. Richard Bong proved that being the best doesn't make you invincible. It just makes you the best until your luck runs out. Number 1. Commander David McCampbell, 34 confirmed kills. Wait. You're thinking, Bong had 40 kills. How is McCampbell number 1 with only 34? Here's why. David McCampbell shot down 34 enemy aircraft in 20 months of combat. But 9 of those kills came in a single day, October 24, 1944, during the Battle of Leyte Gulf. 9 enemy aircraft destroyed in one mission. That's the single greatest fighter performance by an American pilot in history. But the real reason McCampbell ranks first isn't just his kills. It's his leadership. McCampbell was commander of Air Group 15 aboard USS Essex. He commanded every fighter, bomber, and torpedo squadron on the carrier. Under McCampbell's command, Air Group 15 shot down 310 enemy aircraft in 6 months, the highest total of any carrier air group in the Pacific. His squadrons suffered the lowest loss rate per sortie of any air group in the fleet. That's not luck. That's leadership. Let's talk about October 24, 1944, the day McCampbell became legend. The Battle of Leyte Gulf was the largest naval battle in history. That morning, radar detected a massive Japanese air raid, over 60 aircraft inbound toward the American carriers. McCampbell's wingman's plane developed a fuel leak during pre-flight. McCampbell's own plane hadn't been fully fueled. He was launching with half tanks. Standard procedure: abort the mission. McCampbell didn't abort. He launched with his only available wingman, Ensign Roy Rushing, a 23-year-old rookie on his first combat deployment. 2 American fighters versus 60 Japanese aircraft. McCampbell climbed to altitude, positioned himself between the Japanese formation and the carriers, and attacked. He shot down the first Japanese bomber with a single burst, then the second, then a Zero fighter that tried to intercept him, then 2 more bombers. He was fighting with surgical precision, 1-second bursts, deflection shooting, never wasting ammunition. The Japanese formation broke apart. McCampbell kept attacking. 6th kill, 7th kill, 8th kill. His guns ran out of ammunition. His fuel gauge was on empty. The engine was coughing, running on fumes. He spotted 1 more Japanese bomber trying to escape. He closed to point-blank range and fired his last few rounds. The bomber exploded. 9 kills. McCampbell's engine died. He glided the final 15 miles back to the carrier and landed with literally 0 fuel in the tanks. The flight deck crew checked his ammunition. Empty. They checked his fuel. Empty. They checked the gun camera footage. 9 confirmed kills. It was the greatest single-day fighter performance in U.S. naval history. No pilot, before or since, has matched it. But McCampbell's genius wasn't just personal skill, it was tactical innovation. He trained his squadrons to fight as teams, not individuals. His kill-to-loss ratio for Air Group 15 was 13-1, 13 enemy aircraft destroyed for every American plane lost. That's the highest ratio of any air group in the Pacific. McCampbell finished the war with 34 confirmed air-to-air kills and another 21 enemy aircraft destroyed on the ground. He was awarded the Medal of Honor, the Navy Cross, and every other decoration the Navy could give him. After the war, McCampbell stayed in the Navy, eventually commanding the carrier USS Bon-Homme Richard during the Korean War. He retired as a captain in 1964 and died in 1996 at age 86. David McCampbell proved that the deadliest ace isn't always the one with the most kills. It's the one who leads, trains, and protects his squadron while destroying the enemy. Bong had 40 kills. McCampbell had 34. But McCampbell's leadership saved hundreds of American lives while destroying hundreds of enemy aircraft. That's why he's number 1. Let's add them up. Johnson, 28 kills. Gabreski, 28 kills in World War II. McGuire, 38 kills. Bong, 40 kills. McCampbell, 34 kills. Total, 168 confirmed enemy aircraft destroyed by these 5 pilots. That's 168 enemy planes that never bombed American troops, never attacked American ships, never killed American soldiers. 5 pilots, 168 kills, and every single one of them flew their missions knowing that one mistake, one moment of bad luck, one mechanical failure meant death. But here's the real question. Did we get the ranking right? Should Bong be number 1 because he has the most kills? Should Johnson rank higher because he never lost a wingman? Drop a comment right now and tell us your ranking. If this ranking changed how you see World War II, smash that like button. Every like tells YouTube this is content people want to see. Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss our deep dives into military history. Thank you for watching. These pilots risked everything to control the skies. The least we can do is remember their names. We'll see you in the next one.